I will give a simpleton explanation of something I need a little bit more understanding about in terms of what we actually should call these things, but nonetheless, there's a great understanding here. Um, and it's coming from experience, what I'm going through. I just went through in the last 25 minutes. Some major things come up, some signs, situations. Not that I was engaged with other people involved, but there's kind of this engagement where you can interact with the matrix, I guess, of other people without explicitly, openly communicating with them. There's just gestures, comments, certain behaviors, whispers, distractions, all sorts of things that are engaging for the attention, vying for the attention. So what it brings me to was I didn't want to be humble and admit my vulnerability, but I will have to. So in order to explain, in hopes that other people going through this will understand something. So I was hijacked very recently, spiritually, for a significant amount of my money, which leaves me with a very little ability to get food and eat at the current moment. So, living on my little ration of the day, I went to buy something in the grocery store. Found my app that I couldn't find last time. Okay, we're there, we're in the aisle, we're in the checkout. Read the sign on the shelf, seen the price, okay, thinking, okay, taxes so much, and okay, I can do this. So I get to the checkout, and it's like above what I can afford for that time. And I'm like, okay, sorry for the darling, I said I can't afford this shit, and I just said, I gotta go. I left. I went to the other store, bought something I could find. We won't mention that it was candy, but I ate. And I'm sitting out here eating my candy and thinking, damn, I wish I had some food. Why can't I have food? Why did this guy do this? Like, it's just... And I mentioned in the second store that because one of the clerks was synchronously having a conversation with one of the other clerks. There was three of them there, the one at the checkout and then the two a little bit off. And she's like, and he took all her money. She started out, why is there $17 missing? And then she's like, no, that's so-and-so's. He took all her money. And then I just happened to mumble. And there was this strange guy in front of me in the line. He, I've seen him before. I must have seen him around. But it was just such a humble, gentle, like, presence. It was like a consistent presence. Like, I'm here. So I felt safe to just add to the matrix of synchronicity, and I said, no, he stole my money. And so, just to reveal something, but anyways, I was in my little low vibration moment of weakness. And anyway, so I said that, I came out, I ate my candy, and I started watching some videos again, and I seen this video about guts. He had a diagram. He's showing the intestine, and he's saying this is where you communicate to God from. So I started thinking, okay, putting it all together, the fasting, the not eating is actually a blessing, because he was going on into you're blocking it with all this stuff you're eating. You put this, and your belly becomes your God. So I'm thinking, okay, if I really want to get out of this situation, which obviously I do, and I need to obviously communicate with God a little bit more more in this moment of time than other times. I mean, every time is important with him, but especially in times of setbacks or hardships, I need to communicate with him. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's a blessing. My gut is empty. So fasting is a good thing. I can be communicating here and look at this and feel that it's a blessing instead of commiserating my, I guess it would be my mental thought process about telling myself it's bad. So then my frequency starts matching that and matching it and lower and lower. One other thing was after that realization, thinking, I can talk about that. I need to do something with this. Some just random person was on his motorcycle and he was parked way over there, and then he came over here, and then this other man wanted to take a picture of him, and I'm like, no. They started coming closer to me, and not closer to me, my person, but like vicinity wise. Did not, I'm present. It's like I'm forcefully present. And I'm like, I don't want to go through this. I don't need to be brought back down to like reminding of my childhood issues, and my father is associated like that. So we have a better thing to say for that later. I'm just trying to explain something. So I it's not that I have father issues. It's that men on bikes to me are triggering, because there was a time when I didn't have a relationship with my father that I looked at all men with bikes, motorcycles, right, as like fatherly figures, and just openly trust them. I'm remembering here, I'm putting this together. So when I was up this couple concessions away, I started thinking how we implicitly trust these people. We see a certain image. There was some men in vehicles turning the intersection, and looking at some of them, they just, an older, maybe gray hair or a certain type, they pull my implicit trust immediately. But that's not wise. That goes down to childhood wounds of the ego, the inner child, and the attachment styles and all those things, the trauma. So what this all led into is that we're yelling at children in vehicles over there. So wonderful psychology. They want to distract. Please don't do this. They don't have this, and she wants this, and that's why she's out there causing a scene to distract me, to pull my energy into herself, which is not going to happen, because I am centering and I'm bringing my energy back into myself, as I should. It is wonderful. Thank you. Very synchronous. Let me have a moment. If she can just... because I'm not making noise. She can't hear me. Spiritually, she can. I guess. So with this, it all came together. And even when I was starting to inwardly put a distance between the biker and the he wasn't like an affiliated biker, but he was like a diehard biker type, like just not just a person with a motorcycle, like he was like a biker kind of guy, and the photographer. So I'm thinking I was mentally distancing myself from it, and they were getting upset and trying to draw my attention and energy towards them even more. So it's almost on. It just wants to take so much time, and this is the only expedition adventure they've had in their whole life. Going to the grocery store. Okay, thank you. Right. Okay, so energy connection severed. Thank you. It all came together. That the other thing that inspired me was the shofar. And Abraham sacrificing his son for God. While he was ready to do it, God put the distraction of the ram with the shofar in the bush. I'm not going to add further details because I need more information. Not that I don't know, but I just need to go back. So the Jewish explanation is that the ram was now the sacrifice, and they took the horn off, so the animal was sacrificed as live. They turn it into a shofar, take off the tip of the most war part of the shofar, and now God put his breath of life into us, and this goes through the shofar to sound the war call to alert the angels that there's a distress, and they all are put on alert. So in that, I realized that we're just gonna have to get through. All these people are needy. I hope they all find God and they can come around and try to make soul ties all they wish in my presence. Well, I am always doing spiritual work, and they have no business being near me, but they choose to be. And so what I looked up was that when you put out a distress call, so what is our shofar in the churches or in Jesus technology today? What do we use as a shofar? Because that was Old Testament times, and so it said, the shofar is the horn of war and salvation and these things. And so I'm thinking, all right, I already know that. So what is my horn of salvation? And it's now Jesus Christ is the horn of salvation. And so again, I have to figure out more of how we're going to do this. But when I'm having a distress, anybody is having a distress, we send out the distress shofar signal, the war cry to Jesus. I would imagine is calling upon his name. And as soon as you speak that name, all of the angels come to the rescue. They put on alert. They're on standby, they're ready, they're in the vicinity. We're surrounded by such a crowd of witnesses, everything. Our guardian angels, it's all there as soon as we mention that name. What I realize it's relating to, though, is that if I want to get out of this situation, I'm praying. I'm told to speak. You have to speak, and what is not as though it were. That's part of the war cry, and that's the better way of praying, other than just passively asking, expecting God from without to come within and solve our situational problems, considering mine being I need to eat today or tomorrow or the next. and get some real solutions and strategies here. But the other being, I have been given dominion to speak the word. So the prayer is supposed to come from without. I am a king, a priest, a prophet. As a believer, it's become my inheritance, as it is for any believer. That's what we now are. And so I have to decree a thing. I have to speak over my problems, over this lack of resources that got hijacked because the enemy wanted to delay, among other things. It wasn't that he didn't want me to eat. I had enough money to purchase certain specific, particular things that were going to advance me. And what happened was a whole nother story. The money is not there for that situation now, and the enemy hijacked my resources because he wanted to delay my ability to prosper in this world. He hasn't taken the value or the seed or the dream or the word that has been spoken and prayed for by me and others over my life for these specific things that are going to be done yet. Instead, he made it, let's make her hungry, let's disorient her, let's weaken her so she'll be irritable, so she'll do all these things. That's what the war became. But God turned a hardship into a blessing, revealed the revelation that the gut is where the light is. It's our solar, beneath our solar plexus. That's where the light is. So the greatest light on earth is filled with all these darkness of what we eat. So it's kind of good that I can come up with these revelations right now while I'm hungry, because they're deeper than if I was cloudy brained with, a full belly of whatever. Not that food isn't good, but it's good to fast and communicate with God for these deeper things, because through this He's revealing and bringing me to new territory of understanding with these situations. So the thing I'm going to say about the shofar alerting all these angels, they come, but then there's a cacophony of voices in the matrix anywhere I go, and they're all vying for my attention, such as motorcycles. Just poof, that thought was there, and that had to come right against my head, right? At the moment I said it, but they're vying for our attention. And what it is, even the horn, that's the wrong kind of horn. It's, I can follow a certain illuminated path that the Lord is leading me on if I can see clearly through the gut. If the gut illumines properly, if it's the fan, the fire, the flame of, the fire of the Holy Spirit, because He is a burning fire. If I make that fire within me stronger instead of dousing it with darkness and consuming all kind of mental, digestive, useless information, or just so many things that go into the gut and weigh it down and make our energy low and put it down in the Egyptic chakra, let's say the eyes, because these are eyes. Chakras are really eyes of the Lord. There's several eyes and they all have a function. So the gut is, they call it the heart, gut, brain. So when we have that and we're clear, mentally clear, sober from physical food, we can think. Now with the, I know I keep going back because they keep pulling my energy of my mind away. And our deep-seated rooted traumas are in our pelvic region, our gut area, our area. And so if we're controlled by what we eat and the pudenda, they call it the pudenda. I'm not even going to bother explaining that right now. I have to go back to that, but you can look it up. So that's kind of like the distorted, when the brain up here is inverse and we can't get into our higher brain, it's because our mammalian brain is carnivoristic in every spiritual, physical, mental, emotional aspect, and it's controlled and fueled by the intoxicated gut that only wants selfish desires, and that's kind of the ego's throne. But so they're vying for my attention, and if we have any circumstances in life, especially where really important decisions are supposed to be made, really, it's kind of like those movies or situations where there's an athlete and it's the final situation, the fight, or they're going for the goal or whatever they're doing. It's this final epic moment, and who wins? The great battle. I guess we're gonna help people today. The great battle is, they say it's a battlefield in the mind. And there's a war for our soul, and Satan's trying to win our soul over through the gut. And the better part, listen, you gotta do your homework and your research. You don't just get to break in here and over here eavesdrop. Maybe they're angels, who knows? See if I'm saying the right thing. I don't care who they are or what they are. They're not allowed until it's time, and we're not even done the video, so it's not time yet. So Satan is vying for our souls, but every single moment, every time our brain generates the next move, is because literally we're following the light, the illumined path of our gut mind, our instinct, our intuitive gut process, and we have to feel. And you can't feel anything if your gut is polluted and bloated with things and information and parasites and every kind of whatever they do to your gut. You can't think, you can't illuminate, and what you're feeding your brain is all that toxic in your gut, unless it's empty and your brain is getting at least pure light instead of polluted light particles from the gut, or none at all. Every moment that we need to think, okay, Lord, how do I get out of this situation? Where do I go? What do I do? More bikes, yes. Where do we go? What do? We do not go there to our deep gut trauma of childhood. We go to the Lord and we ask Him, and we say, what do we do? Each move, we won't be able to hear from the Lord if we're in the gut, where everything's cloudy, murky, yucky, mucky, and everything on the outside is like swirling, surrounding your head, you feel like you're wading in neck deep, shoulder deep, whatever, in the water, instead of walking on the water. That's kind of what the intoxicated light particles in the gut do. So if they're intoxicated, they control you. They absorb you. You are like now swimming in the little cell of light that is clouded in darkness and ain't getting to your brain, so your brain is mucky because you feel consumed by this little demoniac light particle that should be clear through fastedness. But if the gut is clear and you have sober light particles in you, you actually stand on top of those things, and that's how you can get into your higher mind. It's kind of, that's my scientific explanation. So we are going to the moon with that one, but it makes sense. I'm quite sure there's words for these things they have. I would love to know them. But yeah, they won't let me get to this. I'm trying so hard. They vie for my attention, and we got all these little horns, and these bikes keep going by at just the right moment. I'm about to do it again and get it out there, and it just like pushes me back down into like anger and frustration and cloudedness, and it's blurry what they done to me. I was so clear when I started this video. That's why I was doing it. And that's the bad thing. I can't get away from the outside. I wish I had, private offices and things like that so that I could get these things done. And they want you to be so distracted. This is what it is. Okay. When the shofar is sounded, okay, when Jesus speaks, he will take the light, give you a revelation, because you've either spoken, prayed, or somebody has spoken and prayed for you or with you. And every prayer we've ever had never goes unanswered. It's never forgotten. Every prayer we pray has been heard. It's the moment you pray it. So from way back, childhood on up, we may not even remember what we prayed for or asked for or needed in times of deep intestinal poverty, I would say. Intestinal clarity. We've asked for some major things, and we are getting responses, synchronous responses, answers from the universe, and those angels are trying to come through, but there's a war in the heavens like it did when Daniel prayed for 40 days. I think there's some process with the gut when you clean it out. It takes about that long. And if you keep putting SHAT in there, then it won't clean out fast enough. The war might be going on longer. But whether you prayed yesterday, whether I prayed today and I'm answered tomorrow, or I've prayed years ago and something befalls me tomorrow where 10 birds with one stone here that the builders rejected, it's great. It will happen. What they are distracting is this gut brain process that we're doing it again. There will be the war in the heavens. They're vying for our attention, and they want to hijack that light that we're generating we're coming out of murkiness, and we're generating so much light. Every time we do the right thing, we take a step in the right direction, we pray, we read the word. Every time we do something like that, we're generating so many, I don't know, wait. What is the acronym of light? Qubits, ICCs, whatever the hell they're called, sorry. Everything's going on, that was the word to express that. So whatever it's called, there's so much that's generated each time, and when we're not standing on top of that yet, they're all hijacking it and vying for it in this battlefield, and we are us pushed out. So the battlefield of the mind is demonstrated in that matrix. He's like right there, so listening to me smoking. He's not listening, but he is. So it's interfering with my psychology, and I can't really do this well, but I'm trying. They don't want you to come to these realizations and get on top of your mind and generate the full force of that light power that is within the spirit man. When it gets way down there, they don't want it to grow roots, that it will come up a tree, and they know their time is short. Okay, he's gone, yeah. Very upset, isn't he, synchronously? So that's what they're doing, and they want me to think that they are sparkly, shiny. Oh, look, a biker, he's here to save your day. They're forceful omens, they're forceful signs, they're forceful people, they're forceful interjections. They are they are the dark angels of light. Even Satan was an angel of light, so he has a appearance of light, but it's not real. And that's what these people, most of them, are doing. They're vying for attention. Oh, look at this, come here, listen to this, I'm gonna speak this around you so you have no power. And what it really does is alerts all the angels of darkness around to, oh, here's somebody, we got to distract them, we have to attack them, we have to do all these things and hijack them. So that's what the war is about. And I wouldn't have seen that if I didn't have to eat a bag of candy for dinner today. But God is good. And I have to cut this video for a moment, and I will do another one on what's left that needs to be said here, because there was a massacre in the heavens just trying to get this message out, and I'm pretty sure you can tell, but if not, believe me. Thank you.